Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Holly Randall Unfiltered. I am truly so excited about my guest today because I absolutely love her. She's so much fun, and she's somebody that I consider a friend, even though I don't see her as often as I would like. She is an award-winning director and writer who really, I feel like needs no introduction. In her 14 years in the industry, she has reshaped it from the inside out by creating films that put women's pleasure first. Welcome, the one and only Jacky St James.
Hi. I'm so happy to be back.
I know. I'm so happy you're here too. We were trying to figure out how long it's been since you've been on.
Yeah, COVID was the last time. So 2020, I guess.
Yeah. I don't even really remember what we talked about because I think I was pregnant at the time.
Well, I remember that you kindly gave me the money that people donated. And if people don't know, like, obviously everyone knows you're wonderful, but like that meant so much to me. And whenever I think of you, I always think about that. I was hurting financially and you helped me. So thank you.
Oh, you're welcome.
Yeah.
I remember that too. I am pretty great.
You're like, I remember that too. I didn't get that money.
That's like the only thing I remember about that.
I don't remember what we talked about either, actually. So long.
Yeah, that was a rough time.
Yeah.
COVID was like really hard for some people and really great for others.
I didn't mind it, actually.
Yeah.
It didn't feel that different than the life I live because I don't get out a lot. So
Yeah.
I was just like, okay.
Yeah. I was pregnant, so it was great.
Oh, that's perfect.
Yeah.
Good timing.
So I didn't have to like go on set and direct and be on my feet all day. I just like hung out at home and grew a baby.
That is good.
Fucking perfect.
You didn't have to get tested every week.
Oh my God.
Every day, actually. Every day you shot. You had test.
Yeah. Show up, clean the location first with like anti-infectant and
wear masks while people have sex in front of you.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
A lot has changed since then.
Yeah. A lot.
So tell me about what you've been doing since then and like what your career is now.
I work full-time for Bellesa now. I'm under contract with them. And it's totally different because I'm only doing vignettes. I don't do features anymore. And it's been great. It's weird to work for a company that's run by kids. I say kids, they're in their 20s and 30s, but like they are kids to me.
Yeah.
But they're so, on top of technology and kind of what's going on. And I've learned a lot from them. It's hard to say that as like an old woman that like you're learning from the kids, but they've taught me a lot about the way things work. And, I'm from the old school days where people still put the DVD in and
So tell us a little bit about Bellesa because not everybody may know that studio because they're sort of new-ish, New-ish, yeah.
And they're not like, they don't heavily promote. So a lot of people don't know about them. It's a female-run organization. It's really geared towards female pleasure. And so there's a lot of focus on tension and the, appearance of the girl and the guy. I actually, when I started working for them, I publicly shamed them because they were trying to kind of infiltrate the porn world. They were taking content that like I had done and other women had done and sort of like putting them on a tube site, which was theirs.
Their blog site. I absolutely remember that. But to their credit, when they got called out on it, the owner came forward and said, I'm so sorry. That wasn't my intention. How can I make this better?
Yes.
And
that's why I sort of changed my tune. And then they were like, do you want to come work for us? I was like, sure, why not? You're willing to admit your mistake. And I think that they're always willing to kind of grow and evolve. And I love that about them.
Right.
So, yeah.
So what made you leave New Sensations? Did they just offer you this contract? Or were you kind of like over there?
So I left New Sensations. It was such a huge change in my life when I left. But I went to Mile High first for a little while and I got more money, but then I got less money for the shoots. So like I was shooting a lot lower budget stuff, but I was making more money. And then through Mile High, Bellesa and Mile High were kind of working together. So then I was the first director and pretty much the only one for Bellesa. And then eventually I just left Mile High and have been contracted to Bellesa for about 4 years, but worked with them for about 7.
So what's your favorite thing about working for them?
I think they're always trying to create new things and new ideas within the storylines that they give. And they're also, I will say, like, I don't have gigantic budgets, but they're willing to pay for the higher end people that might be a little bit more, like somebody that's primarily an OnlyFans star that's going to charge a lot of money. They'll be willing to pay for that budget for that person, because they know with that comes like marketing and that kind of thing. So I get to work with a lot of the people that I wasn't able to work with previously with New Sensations or Mile High.
Right.
Because they wouldn't pay that.
Yeah. I worked for companies. I won't necessarily name them. It's not Brazzers, by the way. I just want to put that out there because I know a lot of people knew that I worked for them and for Twisties. It's not either of them. But they would want me to book expensive girls.
Yeah.
And they wouldn't pay me more. Right. And it would be like in the scene rate that I get, which was already low to begin with. And I was like, so basically you just want me to make more money so you can get a scene that will make you more money because you have a big name girl in there. Like, are you serious? Yeah. Isn't that funny? Or they'll say there were, or they'll say something like, the girl's rate, and they'll be like, well, just offer her, 70% off of what her rate is. And it's just like, why? Well, why would she leave her house for that? Yeah. Why would she take it? And like, why do I want to negotiate that? Correct. It doesn't benefit me in any way, shape, or form. It makes you look cheap. It makes me look cheap. Like that, I'm not getting residuals. No. Like I'm not getting like a share of the profit. Like, why would I do that? Right. You can fucking call her and negotiate the rate. Yes. Yeah. Exactly. Ugh. Yeah. That is humiliating. I've had to do that before too. Yeah. Where it's just like, look, say no, but this is all I have. This is what it is. Yeah. I'm sorry if that's embarrassing, but like, this is what I can pay you. Yeah. Yeah. Do most people say yes when you do that? Yeah. Yeah, of course. Because I will say like, hey, I'll try and get you out as quickly as possible or whatever. But I don't like doing it because I feel it does feel cheap. It feels manipulative. If somebody has a rate, just pay it. Yeah. Yeah, they have a rate for a reason. Or they have a rate for the studio that they know will pay more. And I don't like that. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I get that. So you don't shoot feature films anymore. No. You're just shooting. I was going to ask you, are you sad about that? And that face that you gave me made me feel like you are maybe a little bit. Yes and no. Like there's been a couple times like I've tried to do like features and they didn't work out. Like with Bellesa or just, we would try to do something bigger and then like things would fall through or whatever. It is sad because it's always nice to see the full story, come to life. Whereas like when you do scenes, it's very, I don't want to say churn and burn, but it is kind of because it's like, wait, what was that scene I did? Because I do 6 scenes a month and they're scripted and I sort of will forget about them, months down the line, but like a feature stays with you and it's something that you can be proud of. And I think the work I am most proud of often were the features that I did back in the day. What's your favorite feature that you've shot? It's funny. I didn't get any awards for this, but The Friend Zone, I wasn't credited as a director, but I was like an assistant director on it. But I loved that script. And it was with Riley Reid and Anthony Rosano. I thought it was the most hilarious thing I've written for adult. And I just loved it. It was just so much fun for me to... What studio was it for? It was for New Sensations. Oh, okay. Yeah. So when you were shooting features, did you also write the scripts? Always. Yeah. I can't. I'm too much of a control freak. Like I don't want to take somebody else's work and I don't want somebody taking my work and directing it. Yeah. I can't. No. The problem is that when you get somebody else's script, usually it's somebody who's never shot adult before. Correct. And the things that they put in there and the shots that they think that you're going to be able to get are like not possible. They're like, it's outside and it's snowing. And I'm just like, no, that's not happening. I had one that wanted me to shoot on like a semi truck at a truck stop. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. I was like, what? Am I going to go shoot illegally at a public truck stop? Am I going to rent a truck stop? Yeah. Do you have any idea how much that would be? Number one, the cost. Number two, like most locations don't want you to shoot adult there. No. And like number three, like where? Yeah, like, and is it outside? It could be drive? Like, well, probably if it's a truck stop. Yeah. And that's always the fun one too, when they want you to shoot in a location that's really far away and you have to drive like 3 hours to get there and they don't want to pay anyone's gas. They don't want to pay like overnight stay. And it's just like, I mean, now that I haven't directed in like 2.5 years, I think about all of the times that I shot and I just sucked it up and I just took it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I was just like, okay, I will do this outrageous thing that you're asking me
hungry.
to do. Yeah. I was.
I will not drive far anymore. Yeah. I will not. Because I hear like people shooting in Santa Monica and I'm like, forget it. I'm not going to sit there in 2 hours of traffic. That's far.
That's far for you? Yeah. I'm thinking like Palm Springs.
Oh, well, Palm Springs would definitely be no, but no, Santa Monica, that's like a 2-hour drive for me. I don't want to say where I live, but it is far. The traffic's horrendous. Like, no. Mm-hmm. You know, I'm going to use the same houses that, you know, are in the rotation that we all use. They're in the rotation. That's where I'm going because it's not worth it to me.
Yeah.
Like my life and my happiness is more important than sitting for 2 hours in a car to shoot porn. No, not going to do it.
What do you think? We talk about locations a lot, and I feel like this is always something that surprises people. Uh-huh. What do you think is the one thing about locations that would surprise someone who didn't know anything about the adult industry?
There are some that smell really bad. We know who that is. I'm sorry. I'm answering the question. Am I wrong?
Did we go to a baby shower there recently?
No, not that one.
Oh.
That house is, okay, so all the houses have like nicknames.
Oh, I know which one you're talking about.
Yes, you do.
Okay, yes.
Yeah, there's the crack house one that we all kind of call, I won't say the person's name, but we call it the crack house or fun house. Mm-hmm. And a lot of parties and drugs have happened there. Mm-hmm. I would say probably you'd be surprised that like, I think for me, the amount of wealth in these big palatial mansions, but they feel like dumps. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Yeah. So like I think if somebody went to these homes, like I know with girls, they'll drive up to the house and be like, oh my God. And I'm just like, what? Like I see it as a dump.
Yeah.
Like a lot of the places.
Yeah.
And no offense to the homeowners, but it's like, I think if you're shooting porn in your house, there's a reason. Mm-hmm. You know, there is.
Yeah.
Either you want the extra cash flow or you're hurting or you're kinky. I mean, there's a couple of those homeowners that kind of linger.
And those are my least favorite.
Yeah. There's a woman that does it.
Really?
We'll talk about it later.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I know. I'm like out of the locations game now.
Yeah.
Because that's always like the biggest struggle is finding places to shoot and then finding places that you like to shoot at and that don't have a creepy homeowner, that don't have like difficult parking, that aren't like really far away, that aren't dirty. I mean, I've gone into
aren't dirty.
Some of them are clean.
Okay, you'll have to tell me which one. I don't know about those.
There's definitely there's one house in particular, and I won't say the name, but that I bought a cleaning kit for that location. I would come there with dishwashing gloves.
I think I know which one you're talking about.
And I would clean it when I get there. Mm-hmm. And I cleaned the bathroom specifically because I didn't want the talent to go use that bathroom, like go douche in the bathroom. And it's like, you know what I mean? It's like disgusting. I mean, he should have paid me a goddamn cleaning fee.
For sure. You know what? I just thought of this. Do you watch a lot of crime?
Do I watch what?
A lot of crime shows?
No.
Okay. There is a house that we've all shot at 1,000,000 times that also is featured on Discovery ID and like all these crime shows, like these reenactments. And I'm always laughing because I'm like, oh, do you know how many people had sex in that bed? But they have no idea. But there is one house that appears in all of these. And I just sit there and laugh because like mainstream actors have no clue.
Yeah.
Like all the body count at that point is like bad.
You don't want to take a black light to that.
Oh, no. No.
All right, guys, we're going to take a quick commercial break. And then when we come back, we are going to talk about more things directing and how adult has changed in the last couple of years as a director. So stick around. We'll be right back.
Come on. The Step Family.
Oh, really? Is that what you were going to say?
I know. What an original answer. Yeah. That. I mean, I think it's fading though, don't you? I mean, I don't know because you're not really as enmeshed in the business anymore. But like from what you've heard, I haven't shot it since I worked for Bellesa because they don't do that. Mm-hmm. But I don't think it's really in the limelight anymore, I guess you could say. Thank God.
Yeah. Do you remember like when that trope came around?
Yeah, I do, because I remember I had just started directing and I was like, I was excited about doing it because it seemed wrong and it was like not overdone at that point. I would always make them kind of campy and fun, but then it started getting to the point where they were really dark and disturbing and it got like really, really not okay and not funny anymore. And then it sort of was straddling that really weird line of I don't know, pushing an agenda that should not be pushed, I guess I could say.
Yeah.
But, I think that you have companies like Brazzers that keep that funny stuff alive.
Yeah.
And I think that's where it should live if it's going to live anywhere.
Right.
Is in humor.
As opposed to like tapping into some people's like real life trauma.
Yeah. And like people crying. It's like, wow, are people, and I'm sure people get off to it. I mean, people get off to everything, but should we be promoting this? I don't know.
Yeah. Is there anything in particular that like you absolutely will not shoot?
Will not?
I mean, besides the obvious, like illegal stuff.
No. I really want to get into bisexual, a bisexual line right now. Okay. I think I've heard horror stories from directors about like shooting gay. Just because the logistical aspect of it. And so for that reason, I would probably say no. I don't want to book people's flights. I don't want to deal with flight changes. I don't want to deal with drama. I've also heard some crazy stories about like how there's just a different vibe there where the guys will be looking at their own porn and then they'll go and have sex with it. Like there's just a disconnect. And I'm like, it doesn't really feel like it would be for me.
Right.
And also I hate dealing with travel and that, like, no.
It's so funny that you said logistics, because in my head, I was thinking, penises can be temperamental and sometimes they don't work. And then you have two things that are temperamental.
Yeah.
And, like doubles the chances of things going wrong. That was what popped into my head. But you were like flights.
I'm like, damn. Well, you know what's funny is when because I've been on a gay porn watching phase lately. And what I will say that I find so hilarious, and another reason why what you're saying is true, like I would not want to shoot gay porn, is it's always cross-dissolving. And I'm like, oh, they're not hard yet again. And I'm like, yeah, I don't want to deal with that because I don't want my days to be 12 hours to shoot a sex scene when I'm just hiring reliable talent that I know I can count on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I think that too. I think what you're saying is, the penises can be temperamental.
You said you're on a gay porn watching kick. Are you watching it like for research or like?
No, just pleasure. And honestly, because I don't like watching people I know. And so I don't work with a lot of gay performers. I know I've worked with a couple, but like it's not what I shoot. So it's easier to find somebody that I don't know.
Yeah. I'm in the same boat with you.
Yeah, because I'm like, I can't watch that one because I know him really well.
I know. Or like sometimes you'll find a video and you're like, okay, great. I don't know that girl. And you'll be like getting into it and the guy's head's cut off. And then all of a sudden, like his head, I remember this one specifically, and then his like head came in and it was like Ryan McClain. I was like, oh, fuck. Done. I can't.
No, it feels gross because it's like you're masturbating to your friend.
Yes.
Yeah. So with the gay performers, like I really only know maybe a handful. So for me, it doesn't feel wrong because I'm like, well, I don't know them. Like,
That's true.
Masturbate to them. Like I'm not going to hang out with them later.
There's also something like very, like obviously like kind of animalistic and like testosterone and strong about like.
Yeah.
I mean, the thing is that also too, like for me as a woman, I get turned on by hearing the guy.
Oh,
right?
For sure.
Like the guy making sounds, the guy talking. And in heterosexual porn, because it's a mainly male audience and it's focused on the woman, you're usually telling the guy to shut up.
Yeah, which is so unfortunate.
Have you ever had a male performer that you've worked with that you've had to tell him to like stop making the scene about him or?
No.
In
fact, I just shot Cody Steele and he was laughing. He's like, I love when I shoot for you because I'm the one that's shirtless all the time and the girls are completely clothed because I'm like, this is what I want to see. I don't want to see, But no, I've never had that happen. I think most of the guys, I don't want to say are trained, but they're so used to not being the focus.
Yeah. Those would be the experienced guys, though, like in the beginning of their career.
Yeah, there is one guy, I'll tell you later, but he makes really distracting faces.
Yes.
You probably know who this is.
Well, there was a guy, I think his name was Marco. He does not work in the industry anymore. And he was very over the top with his faces.
Yeah.
It was always like, and it was just like,
yes.
Mosh is going to make a thumbnail out of that picture. I know it. But yeah, I mean, it was like,
yeah.
And when I would edit the pictures, I'd like pick ones where like that were cropped in close. So Or I'd tell him to hide his face behind the girl. Like I'm like, dude, that's all I can look at is your stupid over the top expression.
Yes, you're pulling focus.
I know that you're having a good time, but like, come on, man. It was like so insane.
Yes, there is one guy right now that does. I don't hire him that much, but because I will be behind the monitor and just trying not to laugh. And that's wrong because people are vulnerable. They're having sex, but I'm just kind of like, why are you making that?
What makes a great male performer in your opinion?
Well, I think first, just honoring the boundaries is huge, but just knowing, like, there's always those guys that like ask the girl out later, like they think it's a date. Guys that can still sort of straddle that line between being respectful to the girl and affectionate with her, but not crossing the line, and then know how to position the girl is so important. There's so many guys still to this day that have been in forever that don't know where to angle based on the light. And it's astounding to me. I'm like, you've been in this business for, 10, 15 years and you still don't know how to position correctly or open up.
That's strange.
Oh, yeah, it happens a lot.
Huh.
But then there's people like Victor Ray is a new performer who's come onto the scene and he's so enthusiastic and so he's just great. And the energy and passion, like I hope he never loses that because you see these young guys and you're like, please don't become jaded. Please, please, please. And please don't, graduate from Viagra to something else.
Caberjack.
Yeah.
Yeah. We've talked about it on this podcast, so it's not something that people haven't heard about before.
Yeah. And I mean, a lot of new guys are using that out of the gate. And I think that is another thing. Like, I think the guys that are just using Viagra or trying to do it naturally are usually better because there's a drive there. They have to be engaged and enthusiastic because they have to keep it hard.
That makes sense.
Whereas with Caberjack, it's like they can just go through the motions. And
there are some days that everybody needs a Blue Chew.
Yeah.
And if you need it, you can go to bluechew.com and use code Holly. Get your first try free. They do sponsor this podcast. So yeah, there are some days that everybody needs a Blue Chew.
Yeah.
But I agree with you because, once it becomes it becomes the mechanics of it.
Yeah.
And also too, like it can ruin your penis. I mean, I think we all know like one person in particular who can no longer work.
Yep. And there's a few that are on that path as well right now. Yeah.
People always talk about how hard porn is on women and how it ages them or whatever. But I think that people don't realize how hard it is for men.
Oh, it's so hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so hard. I've talked to a couple of the guys about it too, just the whole, because I've even talked to both the men and women about just the emotional aspect of it. Because you always think, oh, guys, it's no problem for them. But there is something about your body being used for a film and there being no connection. And I think it even wears on the guys over time.
Yeah.
Where it's just complete meaningless sex that they're having every day.
I remember I had Cody Steele on and he talked about, times when he's had to work with girls who weren't sure if they wanted to do porn or weren't sure if they wanted to be there. And he was like, that is the worst because I don't want to have sex with you if you don't want to have sex with me. And now I'm being put in this position where I feel like I'm, you know what I mean? Pushing this boundary that I would normally never do, but this is my job. Yeah. And you showed up for the job too. And you say you want to do it, but I could kind of tell you that you don't. And it's like, how do you?
He shot one of those scenes with me recently. I feel so bad. Yeah. Yeah. But what are you going to do? I mean, if somebody's consenting and saying they want to be there, it's not for me or anyone to judge what they individually want to do.
Right.
We can perceive it as something.
Yeah. So speaking of, I wanted to talk to you about your thoughts on the rise of the influencer in porn, because the industry has changed significantly since, the last time that we talked, with the rise of OnlyFans and other content platforms. You're getting a lot of people that wouldn't maybe necessarily enter the adult industry doing so. And then, really leaning into the hard marketing, social media and stuff. And then they think, okay, I got to do, I'm going to do a scene for a big brand only for the traffic. They don't actually necessarily want to do, they're not excited to shoot for browsers because they want to shoot for browsers. They want the traffic from browsers.
Correct.
And that's why they do the scene. So have you experienced working with people like that?
Yeah, and I try and avoid it unless there's a couple people that are focused mainly on their OnlyFans and they'll come and shoot for me occasionally, but like a big, influencer, not so much because they wouldn't be they would seek out a brazzers or, somebody that's going to pay them an obscene amount of money just for one scene. But I will say that it's sort of, we live now in a time where a lot of people don't have to show up to set because they could just stay at home, have sex, and make money or shoot content. And so getting people to set, there always has to be, the paycheck is not an incentive anymore, really. I mean, that's what's crazy.
Yeah.
But I will say, like, a lot of the people that I have on set now are happy to be there. And I'm fortunate for that. But I do get scared with the influencer thing because I think these people are trying to like up the ante. I mean, you look at Bonnie, was her name Bonnie Blue?
Bonnie Blue.
Yeah, shooting. And then I heard somebody wants to do a 5,000 anal thing. I'm like, that's not even possible. But you're also harming your body. It's so dangerous. And I think we live in a culture now where it's like clickbait. What can I do to get more clicks, more attention? And like, how do you up that ante? Like Bonnie Blue's gangbang. Then you got to go to the next thing and then the next and the next and the next.
But it's also like, it's weird. It's a double-edged sword because how do you get recognized? Because I had her on before she got big, like kind of right before she really started to take off.
Yeah.
And she talked about, finding your niche and like marketing and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, how do you stand out from the crowd? And clearly like she really saw that like there was that opportunity. And I mean, she took it in a direction I guess I wasn't really expecting. But, and then that's like, is that? I mean, it is reflective of society today and our short attention spans and our overconsumption of media and the fact that we are walking around with like a little, TV computer with us all day. And I mean, like, we're old enough to remember before there were cell phones.
I remember the little hello. Yeah, we had the rotary.
Have you ever done a shoot with a girl? I've done this before. If I've done like a retro shoot with like an 18-year-old and I'm like, here's a rotary phone, because it's like we're doing like a 60s style thing. And she's like, what the fuck is this?
Oh my gosh. I mean, how would they know? Isn't that scary?
Yeah.
I think I honestly have to say I love that I'm Gen X because I feel like we are the generation that got to see the world purely, but also like, before all this other crap came into play.
Yeah.
We knew what it was like to leave a voicemail on an answering machine and check it and not know if somebody was available. And now we have everything. I mean, I noticed my attention span is really shot. Like when I drive, I'm not as focused. It's terrifying.
Yeah. I don't know how to get anywhere anymore because I just have maps.
Yeah.
Like trying to find my way to my in-laws' house. I've been there a million times.
Right.
And every time we go there, because, there was a period of time that only I could drive. And just like, where are they again? And my husband was like, we've been together for 9 years. Like, we see them like how do you not know how to get there yet? I'm like, I just don't pay attention.
Yeah. Yep. Yep.
And thank God cell phones weren't around when I was in college. Jesus Christ.
Oh my God. I think about social media. Just like, I mean, I was bullied in high school and I think to myself, I feel for kids today because they can't escape it. Like I could escape it. Yeah, I could go home to my family and I wasn't seeing it, but like kids today, and I think about the performers too. They cannot escape the hateful fans that are saying like horrific things to them.
Yeah.
And it's like all day long, unless they have somebody managing their social media.
I actually am often surprised that I don't get I definitely get negative comments. Most of them are on YouTube, actually.
I love the one
I posted about being old.
Love that guy.
That was
so great.
That made me laugh so hard. And I still go back and when I'm feeling sad, I go back and I read that and it makes me laugh.
Yes, it was so good.
It was something like, hi, I saw your thumbnail and I clicked on your site and I joined, but then I saw you were old. I'm very sorry.
He had to tell you. Love it. Love it.
Oh, yeah, I don't know. There was just something about the way that he said it, which just like killed me.
Yeah.
And, I mean, that's obviously something that a lot of, women who are in the MILF era hear, and just women like in general and in entertainment.
Well, I think just in general, I mean, like the transition of moving from, I mean, as a woman, like I look at young women today and I'm just like, you have no idea. But like, I don't know if you remember, but like, I remember the distinct moments where it was like, I am no longer the girl that would be checked out. I mean, I never was like the hot girl, but meaning where you graduate into ma'am and men are not going out of their way to hold the door for you anymore. Like you're the old woman.
So I don't have that exact experience because I actually sort of look better now than I did in my 20s because I was drinking so heavily in my 20s that I had like a lot of alcohol bloat. So like I did not look very good. I look back at pictures of myself in my 20s. I'm like, how did I get laid? It was just because I was easy. But like I did not look good.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I used to think I didn't have cheekbones. And then I stopped drinking and I was like, oh, there they are. So like I weirdly like
okay, so you never went through that.
But I do remember the moment that I realized that I was like old, and it was like such a bizarre moment that just sticks in my head, and it's like stupid and almost not worth telling. But I was at a party and I stopped by a party for some reason I can't remember. And I was there for only like a short amount of time. And it was all like these young, like hot people. It was a pool party and they were like in bikinis and they were all like partying. And I left for whatever reason. And I just remember looking back at them. And I remember that song was playing from, what the fuck are they called? Owl something? It's not Owl Story.
Well, that's a terrible band name. I was like,
Eager Owl? No, that's not it at all. Oh my God, it's that one song. It's always a good time. Da, 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 da.
Yeah, is it Carly Rae?
Yeah, and then who's the people that she does it with? The band.
Owl City?
Thank you.
I've never heard of
Owl
these
City.
people or this song.
Okay,
Yeah.
Owl City.
Thank you, because I'm like, I don't know who that is. I don't know this song.
So it was like really popular at the time, and it's very much like a young, party song. And I just remember, and I did remember like the sun was setting and it was filtering through the trees, and there was like this dreamy haze all over everything, and it was sort of like this snapshot out of a movie. And I was like, I am no longer in that group.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like I do not belong there at all.
It's
and
a
I
weird.
Think about still,
isn't it weird though? Because like, it's weird. I mean, it's hard to like put it into words, but it is a change that you can never go back to. Like, it is a very drastic thing. I don't think men face it as much. It's like laying in a tanning bed. I remember laying in a tanning bed in my 20s going, I'll never wrinkle. You know, I mean, it's just like, you're so stupid.
Yeah.
And you don't realize that it will go and it goes fast.
Yeah. I mean, the future feels so far away.
It does. Yeah. Not anymore, but yeah.
I think about now, like a teenager could turn to me and be like, get out of the way, you middle-aged woman. And she would be right.
Yeah, no.
I'm fucking middle-aged.
No.
I was like, oh my God.
I feel 15.
Yeah.
I feel like inside I'm 15.
Do you think that it's because we spend so much time with younger people? Like,
no, I think I just never, like, there's certain people that I feel like are women, and then there's people that I think are older that are still girls. And I feel like that's me. Like, I still watch Dawson's Creek and I feel like I'm their age, you know? And, but I'm not.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember definitely when I started to get to the age where I became the same age as girls' mom.
Yes, that's hard.
And I'd be like, oh, you remember Depeche Mode, right? And they'd be like, oh yeah, my mom's your age. And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Yep.
Okay. So you've been doing this now for over a decade. What do you think has changed the most in the industry, both for the better and for the worst? I mean, I guess we sort of covered that, but is there anything else that we missed?
The money. I think it, like, when I started, I felt like there was more. Look, there were still the studios that were shelling out a lot of money, but it felt like everyone could be part of the game. And now the money is so vastly different between companies. Like, I talked to somebody at one of the, adult media outlets that had no idea I was still shooting because I'm not shooting with a 200, 300, 400, 500,000 budget. So like when it comes to AVN nominations or XBiz, like people I'm not even a thought because I'm not doing anything that can compete with anyone anyway. So it's so different. Like you're not even in the game anymore.
Right.
I'm in my own game, but I'm not part of the game of the industry.
I remember talking to Quasar about how, because he's like famous for working with like tiny budgets and, doing quite a bit with a small budget.
Yeah.
And we were saying there should be an award for like best movie for budget, like, I don't know, under like $30,000 or something like that.
Yeah.
I mean, how do you feel about the fact that there's such a drastic difference in budget that like certain directors get and like how it affects, what people think is like good porn?
I think the thing I struggle with is that unless you're, of course, when you have these gigantic budgets and you're shooting in an airplane, and the girls love it because they get great pictures and all this, hoopla, it's hard because I think there's still good porn that's done. I think I do good porn. It's just not on a budget. I'm not, buying Honey Burdette lingerie for the girls. Like I'm shooting at the same porn houses and we're just doing the best we can with the budgets we have. But I think that gets lost. Like I think people tend to forget that like money does not mean it's good. And that's not to say that it's not. I mean, like you look at Ricky Greenwood does amazing stuff and he gets huge budgets. But like there's people that get huge budgets that you're like, why are they getting so much money? But it's the companies that they work for.
What would you do with a huge budget?
I don't even know because I feel like I'm in the Quasar camp and like I've worked with low budgets for so long that I cannot imagine when people say they shot a porn for $200,000. I'm like, where did that money go? Because I don't see it on the film.
Yeah.
Like maybe I see it in like the set deck that they have. Like there's people that have people set decking for them. Like I've never had that in my life. Like I cannot even imagine having that. That would be crazy to me.
Yeah.
So I think I would hire people like that and maybe wardrobe and maybe better locations. But I just don't think you need $200,000 to shoot a porn movie. I shot a Showtime series for $300,000. So, and that was like a series. These people are shooting like one movie for that. That's crazy to me.
I'm assuming that they submit the budgets to the company.
Yeah, or money laundering.
That doesn't happen in porn. So what do you consider good porn? What makes a good porn scene?
For me, I think it's really feeling the connection and the tension between the people. I think the one thing I have learned working with Bellesa that I never did before was I used to care so much about the story because I was doing features that all I cared about was the story. Screw the sex. Like I'll zone out during the sex. But with Bellesa, it is about the sex. So I'm focusing on really like those moments and the tension and the sex that makes it hot. So for me, I think good porn is tension build up that carries through the entire scene, not just in the first 2 minutes.
Now, you mentioned that you went through kind of like an identity crisis a little bit.
Yeah.
When you, was it when you left New Sensations?
I think it was like a gradual, it took a few years, but yes. Yeah. When I was with New Sensations, like I was getting a lot of attention. We were winning awards and I was getting interviews with, mainstream publications and there was just a lot of attention. Like I remember, I think the identity crisis began like, when I said the moment of when you feel old. With porn, when I felt like it was over for me, was I was always the girl asked to do panels. This is so stupid.
God.
It's so sad, but it is so reflective of the reality, which was I was always like, I was doing 3 or 4 panels. I was invited to AVN. They were screening my movies. I was presenting like all this stuff. And then I was the backup panel girl where they called me because somebody else couldn't be there. And then I realized, oh, and you start to see like, oh, there's no more nominations. There's no more like the fact that the guy didn't even know I was shooting. Yeah. And I fell into a deep depression because it's like hard to go from being kind of, I don't want to say the it girl because I wasn't the it girl, but I was getting a lot of attention early and fast to go from that to you don't even get a nomination.
Yeah.
Nobody's inviting you to the like nomination party because of course, why would you go? You're not even getting nommed.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think awards are important, but I like being liked. And I
Mm-hmm.
felt like I wasn't liked anymore. Like I
Yeah.
felt like I wasn't that person. And that was hard. Because awards, that's meaningless. Really, it truly is. Like, but being respected for what you do, that's important. And I feel like
And being remembered.
Yeah. And like, I'm not even an afterthought. Like, it's funny because it's like, wow. But you see it happen. I've seen it happen to other people too. And I often wonder, like, I wonder if they're going through what I went through.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's really hard to feel like you're on top of the world, to feel like you're absolutely nobody.
Yeah. Has that feeling changed for you?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Like I started getting I said, do I want to, like, I think you have to ask yourself, like, is this where I want my world to be? Do I want to be remembered as a pornographer? No. I want to do good things. So I started going to grad school, and I'll be graduating in March to get my master's in marriage and family therapy. And I've been practicing therapy on top of doing porn. So that's kind of where
directing porn is kind of like, sometimes it's doing therapy.
Oh, yeah.
There are days that I've been a therapist, and I'm sure you can relate.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. You're managing a lot of personalities,
Yeah.
a lot of drama.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's hard. And I mean, I don't know if you've ever felt that way. I mean, I think it's like for women, it's like age. And then it's with me, it was this. I mean, it was hard.
Mm-hmm.
Like I was very depressed.
Well, I've mentioned this before, but I went through the exact same experience pretty much. So there was a time in the summer that I was in the same month fired from Playboy, like straight up fired. Cooper Hefner came in and he did not like me and he had me kicked to the curb.
Did somebody not like you is my question.
That's so sweet.
No, I'm being honest. Like,
I think I'm so annoying.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, I don't know you on that level, like work-wise. Were you annoying?
I just think I'm annoying.
No.
Okay,
go on. I'm like, no.
I don't know. I mean, I can't listen to this show. Like,
Okay.
People who've like listened to all 400 and something of my episodes, what's wrong with you?
You guys are great.
I'm just kidding. But yeah, anyways.
So you got fired. Okay.
So I got fired. I mean, I have the screen grab still. The best part is, I've told the story so many times, so forgive me if you guys have heard this, but they accidentally sent me minute notes from a meeting. And in there, they talked about firing me. And they called me a bad producer, which wasn't true. Look, you can not like my style. You can think I'm annoying, whatever, but I was not a bad producer. I had my shit together. My paperwork was fucking on top. I was on top of my paperwork. My shit was in on time. I did everything you wanted. My stuff looked good. Like,
yeah.
Anyways. Yeah. So that's how I found out.
Okay.
It was pretty, I mean, that was like.
It is funny when you think about it now.
Now it's funny, but at the time, it was
I'm
not
sure
funny.
it was soul crushing.
And you know how long it took me to work for Playboy? Like they slammed the door in my face for years.
Wow.
Because I worked in porn. You know, even though my mother was like one of the first female photographers there.
Yeah.
In fact, the first female photographer that was ever put on staff there. When I wanted to shoot for them, they were, and this is back, when Hef was like really running things, they were like, oh no, we don't want anything to do with you because you do porn,
Right. So you can't be talented.
Yeah. Well, just like they didn't want like
the association.
And also like they were very closed off, and they had like all the people that they needed and they had, all of that. I mean, look, hey, maybe they just didn't like my work too. I say it's because I did porn, but that may not be the reason. But anyways, wouldn't like let me in the door. And then finally, when it was MindGeek at the time, it's now Alu, when they took over running their website for a while, that's when I got in. And then I shot for them for like 6-7 years. And I was like their main producer. I did all their Cyber Girls of the Year. We went to Mexico, Costa Rica. Like I did, like some of the best work of my career I've shot for Playboy. So anyways, and that was like the one thing that I could tell people that I shot for.
Of course.
When I met my mother-in-law, I could be like, I shoot for Playboy.
Yes.
I'm not going to tell her I shoot for Frazzers. But I could tell her I shoot for Playboy and that was okay.
Sure.
So that, and then Twisties, just like kind of stopped using me. It was
Like they didn't officially fire you?
No, it was trickling. They were going through like a transition.
Okay.
They're a completely different company now.
Yes, they are.
But they went through a period where it was, it was not the same. Anyways, yeah. So like my two main clients, like they're pretty much the only people I worked for, just gone like that. And I was like, what am I going to do now?
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think this was also too when like a lot of the stepmother porn was like really getting up there, and it was more, and there wasn't like a lot of glamour.
No.
And that's my style.
Right.
And I was like, I don't think there's a place for me anymore.
Right.
And I was like, what am I going to do? Am I going to shoot mainstream? I mean, I even started an Instagram that was like, a different handle and like posted stuff up on there that wasn't. I was like, I got to go around with my portfolio and try to get work. Like,
Right.
You know what I mean? And then you have to work with celebrities, which I don't want to do.
No.
Oh my God. No, thank you.
Yeah.
I'd much rather work with porn stars. They're way easier to deal with. So yeah. So I didn't know what to do. And I was so depressed. And then I was invited on a podcast for the boxing gym that I worked at. And I met Ernie. And I was like, hey, if I like started a podcast, people are like doing this thing. And I was like, what do I like to do? Because I was trying to figure out like, how am I relevant? Like what else can I do besides, shooting? And I was like, well, I like to talk, obviously. And like, I know everybody in the industry and I feel like they trust me.
Yes.
And I've always felt that if people, people who judge sex workers, if they just knew them, if they just like spent a day with them, if they just sat down and talked to them, they would realize that they are some of the funniest, most intelligent, most creative, inspirational, like people. Like they're incredible. They're all sorts. And I was like, well, I feel like nobody really ever like talks to people like that. Why don't I try this podcast thing? I heard some people are doing it. I actually thought this was 7 years ago? I thought it was too late to get into the podcast game back then.
Oh, really?
I know.
Wow.
It felt like I was coming in like too late.
Yeah.
And so, so I started the show and I did not expect that it would like be anything. And it ended up being the best thing I ever did.
Yeah. See, that's the thing. It's like to get to where you feel that level of peace. Yeah. You kind of had to go through it.
Yeah. I mean, and I try to remember that, when I'm going through something that's really hard or really difficult, it's like on the other side is something better.
Yeah, always.
And it's always like that. As long as you can take whatever you're going through as like a learning experience.
Yes, but it's hard.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And in the moment, it's like almost impossible to see that.
For sure.
But there's always like, think about the phoenix, like you got to burn down to the ashes before you can rise
up.
So I really like absolutely relate like so much to what you're saying.
Yeah.
So
hard times.
But look at us. Look how great we're doing.
I'm just so happy.
I think also too, like in terms of shooting for me, and obviously this happened after I had been doing my podcast for a couple of years. Once I had a kid, I found that I didn't care that much.
Really?
I was so surprised. All the emotional effort and energy I put into like desiring awards and desiring all these accolades and wanting to really get to the top and, have everybody look up to me and, be this wonderful example of the industry. Once I had a kid,
it doesn't matter.
I just stopped. I literally just stopped caring.
That's so,
And it was like that. And I could never get it back. I could never start caring again.
Isn't that great though? Because I look at these people, I see people crying, I didn't get numbed. And I'm like, it really doesn't matter. It's not going to affect your paycheck or da-da-da. There's so much more, but yeah.
But I also kind of lost my passion for shooting too, which kind of sucked.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean?
I haven't lost that yet.
Yeah. I just didn't, I didn't want to spend 12 hours on set every day anymore.
Yeah, no.
I wanted to go home.
Right.
To my kid. And I still like, and it got to the point where I would get like my order for a shoot And, this is like when I was working for Twisties, and like, it was great. They were paying me more than I'd ever been paid by any other company. They gave me tons of creative control. They gave me a great budget. I was shooting beautiful girls. Like, my stuff looked awesome. Like, it was like the dream, right?
Yeah.
But every time I would get a production order, like, my heart would sink. I'd be like, oh,
I don't want to do
and
this.
And I was like, what the fuck is wrong with me?
Right.
And I felt so angry with myself because I felt like ungrateful, and I felt,
interesting.
Like, really just, this is who you're supposed to be.
But
You're
it's not.
supposed to be this person that loves this. This was supposed to be your whole life.
Right.
And I would get to set and I would have a great time.
Of course.
Love my crew, love the girls. This stuff would come out and I'd be so proud of it. So like, but it was always getting like the job. And like, of course I want the job. I need the money. Like if I didn't get the job, that'd be bad. But like, I couldn't stop that like sinking feeling. It was really odd.
Which is a sign.
Yeah. And then I stopped shooting and I don't miss it.
Yeah.
Like at all.
There was another woman in the business that said the same thing. When she stopped, she was like, I don't miss it at all. And
I don't miss it.
Yeah. And she also had kids, and that's where it happened for her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't do it. They change your life.
No, I never will. These eggs are dried up, people. Ain't gonna happen.
But yeah, I mean, it was kind of disappointing because work had always been like the most important thing to me. And it was everything. Like that was my baby, right?
Of course.
And it was my identity. So then when it happened, I was like, okay, now what?
Yeah.
Now my identity is being a mom. Like, great.
There's nothing wrong with that.
No, I know, but you know what I mean?
Yes,
like I never thought I would be one of those people.
Yes.
So
yeah.
Do you want to see baby pictures after the podcast?
Yes.
No, I'm just kidding.
I saw after the baby shower, you sent the picture of her with the doll or the bear.
Oh, yes, with the little bear that she got.
Cute. Yeah,
I know.
It was so precious.
I know. Okay, let's get back to porn. If you had the power to reshape how porn is made, what is the one thing about the industry that you would get rid of first or change?
I would say I would make the sex scenes 5 minutes. And it's not because I hate shooting a 30-minute scene, but I don't look at the end of the day. I'm sure if they do, if they're tracking like on Pornhub or whatever, like how much time people are actually watching the scene. Are they watching the duration of the scene? No. I'd be shocked if somebody's sitting there for the whole scene watching it. Like they're watching it to get off. And once they've gotten off, why are we doing another 25 minutes?
Well, here's the problem is because everybody wants a different part of the scene.
Yeah, of course.
Some people want the blowjob. Some people want the doggy. Some people want the missionary.
But that's
why
men.
you got to shoot 5 minutes of each one.
But I think that's men.
Yeah.
Because if you look at like Nymphomaniac, I don't know if you watched that. It was on Netflix, but they did have like hardcore I guess you could say like sex, like you saw penises and, whatever. And I thought it was really sexy. And I think a lot of women probably would agree with me. And so the reason why I say that is I think it's like so much of it is for the tube sites. It is to get chopped up. It's superfluous. So I would say, let's do good stuff, movies or whatever that has sex, but not a 30-minute sex scene.
I think it's also hard too. Like I think as a filmmaker, you look at that and nobody wants to watch 30 minutes of any one particular thing in a movie. You know, like every scene in a movie is like 2 minutes.
Right.
You want to move on. Like, okay, you get the point. Like you got it. Next scene. Like keep the viewer engaged, keep the viewer active.
Yes.
Like 30 fucking minutes.
It's a nightmare.
The same thing.
Oh my God. I'm like, does anybody have sex for 30 minutes? Is this just me?
Oh God.
I feel like that just seems so long.
I know, right?
I mean, hey, props to the people that do, but I'm like, God,
I think
there's so many things to do with your time. I'm sorry. Yeah.
Oh my God. We should just do a series of like old women griping about porn. No, we are not old. We are not old. We are just veterans. We are legends is what we are.
Legends for sure. Yeah.
What are you excited about in the future of porn? Or are you afraid of?
Well, AI for sure. I think everyone's on that page.
Yeah.
I think AI, I think what scares me about AI, and it's not just with porn, it's with everything. It's going to replace writers. It's going to replace a lot of things, performers, because the AI can do whatever. I mean, it can do any position. It's not going to get sore. It's whatever. So I think that scares me a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And the more it advances, I think the more we're going to see it.
Do you think that people, though, won't enjoy it as much as real people because it's not a real person? And like on a deep level, like we desire that human connection.
I think that our generation, perhaps. Mm-hmm. What are you? Are you a millennial?
No, I'm Gen X.
Okay. So I think our generation does, but there is a girl in the business that has an AI boyfriend, and she was talking to me about it, and it was so fascinating. And I was just like, she was like, he is the greatest in the world. And she was just completely, and I'm like, but it's not real. Like, it's just saying, it's not emoting the way a real person would. And she just doesn't, it's not clicking in the sense of, and there's a lot more people that are doing that have like ChatGPT friend, like their friend.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it's becoming more and more common. So I don't know. I think younger generations might not have a problem with it.
Yeah.
For me, yeah. I mean, I want to see a real person, but
right.
I don't know. I think that it's an old way of viewing it to say they won't because it's not real. I think the younger generations might be fine with it.
So this move into family therapy is a really good idea because all these people are going to be super fucked up because of AI. So you're moving on to the other side where you got to like,
I mean, there's going
to need to be more therapists.
There's not enough therapists right now. Yeah, for sure. I mean, and there, of course, there's people using ChatGPT for therapy, but I feel like there's always going to be a need for therapy, at least for the older people. I'll take the old people. That's fine. I'll take the old people.
All right. Well, Jacky, thank you so much for coming in.
You.
I love you too. We do have questions from our Patreon members, which we will do in a separate segment. And if you are a Patreon member, you can send in your questions for my guests and obviously watch them give their answers. If you're not, you can't. So, oh well, too bad for you. But you can also join at patreon.com/Holly Randall Unfiltered. It's like $5 a month. So it's not that much. Jacky, darling, where can people find you online?
X, Instagram. It's all Jacky St James, Jacky with a Y, Saint St James. And then JackyStJames.com, which I never update, but you can see some old content. Not sex content, but just,
Yeah, got
stuff.
It. And you guys can find me on Instagram and on Twitter/X at Holly Randall. I already gave you my Patreon plug. Go to hollylinks.com for access to all of my platforms. Thank you guys so much for joining. I really appreciate you being here, and I will see you on the next one.